Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for the 4th issue of the Godzilla and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers sequel crossover. So, this came out as the same time as the final main issue of the mmpr comic, and I forgot it was coming out this week. I thought it was coming out next week for some reason, so you got like a double issue thing going on here. And despite the fact that I'm more overall invested in the main comic, I gotta say, I really like this issue more than the main comic issue this week. This main issue comic was very much a setup for the final issue, whereas this one just was a lot more exciting and fun. Just a lot of the stuff I've been enjoying about the event. The only real negative thing I have is I'm still not the biggest fan of the art. Like in general, it's not like it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's just very disappointing because as I've said in the past, I really liked the art in the first one. It made things feel really big and epic, and I would really love to see these cool new designs drawn like that. But everything else I really liked. It was really cool to see the Kaiju Rangers in action. I've talked about before, I really like their designs a lot. They even have like some cool and unique powers in this sort of bit where there's kind of a lot of power and it's hard to control. I thought that was really unique and that was really fun. We also get to see the Zords. I believe we saw them a while back. I honestly don't remember seeing the individual ones. I definitely remember seeing the Megazord, which the Megazord closes the issue out. But we get to see the individual ones, and they look so cool. I really like them a lot. I know it's like popular for the Sentai Goobers to hate on all the comic designs, but I'll admit there's some mixed designs with some of the original Megazords, but this is definitely one of my favorites, and it makes me sad that we're not in a position where Power Rangers is a big enough franchise for Hasbro to have like Synergy, where if it was a popular and important brand, we would get Lightning Collection Kaiju Rangers and maybe like a Zap, like Godzilla Megazord, Kaiju Megazord. That would be so cool. Like, I could totally see them releasing the Dragon Zord Godzilla mecha too. Like, I really like these designs a lot. This was a lot of fun. I really like that this comic felt like it took a lot from what I like about the Turtles comic. I don't think it's as good as the Turtles comic. I kind of like the storylines in the Turtles comic a little bit more. And also, they do a better job, well, not a better job, but you have the aspect of the characters interacting. Because obviously, outside of like the villains and the famous Jet Jackson or whatever his name is, like Godzilla is going to be like, rawr, like there's not a lot to do with that. So you get to see like the characters interacting, which is one of the strong suits of Turtles, which kind of sets it above this one. But it does take what I liked about that crossover take, which was kind of blending together the mythologies and doing cool hybridizations to the point where it's fan servicey, but it feels natural. And it expands like this little corner of the multiverse, and I really like that a lot. There was also some interesting stuff going on where you have the famous Jet Jackson and the White Ranger on the ship trying to rescue the Rangers that have been kidnapped through the multiverse, and they pick up on the signal that they think is the Rangers, but it's actually they're power coins. And you see a bunch of power coins in this little like Bacta tank, and they're not just like the dino ones you'd expect. It's really cool. There's like some ninja ones in there, and it also looks like some other just random ones, like there's like a shark or something. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, I almost want to peek into a world where you have other power coins based off of other things. I thought that was just a little neat thing there. You also have Astronema and Rita arguing throughout this whole thing, which I thought's kind of been a fun little bit of their interaction. And seeing this, it makes me curious because this is mostly staying to MMPR, you know, with the core 6 Rangers, and then you bring in White Ranger, and then you have the Kaiju stuff. But I know that there's probably some casual fans that read the comic or read the crossovers or read the Turtles crossover that just, you know, grew up with MMPR in the 90s. I'm curious like what they think whenever they bring in stuff like Astronema or other characters that are from the later seasons. They probably just think it's a random character introduced or something, I don't know, but I always happen to think about that. It also did make me think about how in the Turtles crossover comic, Turtles has so much of a bigger rogues gallery of well-known villains in terms of what they introduce. Like, obviously, for the hardcore PR fandom, there's a rogues gallery of villains, but nobody cares who Rancic is or Diabolico outside of the hardcore fandom. So they're stuck with like MMPR stuff. And so they primarily, in addition to using Rita and them, will just use like Monsters of the Week, whereas like Turtles will use their rogues gallery of well-known villains and side characters. And I think it's kind of neat that this one actually used a villain outside of MMPR and took that little risk. Because I don't think that, so long as you don't populate it, like if they were to just populate it with villains or characters that nobody knew from the casuals, that might turn them off. But I think adding 1 or 2 in isn't going to hurt. But yeah, so we end off, we have the Megazord formed, I think next is the last issue, because I think it's only a mini-series, but I've been enjoying this overall. It's been a pleasant surprise. I liked the first one okay. I thought it was a lot of fun with some cool art, but this one has been just a nice, pleasant surprise. Again, very much echoing a lot of the things I like about the Turtles crossover comic. But let me know what you thought about the comic in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for all my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.